My lover had gone into the forest. He talks romantically with me all night and keeps choosing my picture to make a video call. I can hardly wait, his words disturb me deeply. The patience of my fiancé was exhausted. One night, he jumped through my window, came inside, and stayed with me all night. Friends, subscribe to the channel now to hear more interesting stories like this. 2 months had passed since my engagement, and Rie insisted on meeting me. We had an arranged marriage, and I had met him twice before the wedding. But I was interested in loving him because I had a relationship with Char's online website. My friends always said that online guys don't understand how you're feeling when they do something wrong to you. After listening to my friends, a fear started growing inside me. I didn't want to be too close to him before marriage. It's not that I was a conservative girl with very old ideas, but my honor was important to me. I might lose my life, but not my honor. I wasn't like the girls of the past who had relationships with their boyfriends before marriage. Although Riewer and I were set to marry within a month and were engaged, he was still my fiancé. Yet, I felt nervous inside when I talked to him. My father and mother would call me every night, and they had no objections to us talking. He used to say that we should talk and get to know each other before marriage, but I was a girl from a middle-class family. In our country, girls do not have relationships with boys before marriage. That was why I kept making excuses to Riewer. One night, I fell asleep in my room when Riewer suddenly called. When I answered, he said, "What's going through your mind? You haven't told me." I said, "What should I tell you? When I talk to you, I feel tears in my eyes. My heart will only be at peace when I meet you, my beloved. You are the only one who can bring me peace." I blushed with embarrassment after hearing his words. I didn't know what that meant, what kind of peace Riewer was referring to. I said, "There are only 6 months left. Be a little patient. Come to my house. You can come home and meet everyone, but I don't know what mom and dad will say, so think about it." For some reason, Ryu interrupted me and said, "You don't understand. I want to meet you alone. Let's watch a movie together, meet in a park, or come out to dinner with me." Nowadays, boys and girls date before marriage, and we are even engaged, so what's the issue? I said, "Ryu, I'll think about it and let you know." He said, "I've been kissing only your pictures for a long time. Even when I talk to you on video calls, you refuse. I want to hold your hands, touch your cheeks, kiss you." I said, "Rie, what are you talking about? I'm asking you to wait for 6 months. I can't get that close to you before marriage. I've already told you that." He said that holding hands wasn't wrong. People shake hands with each other. What kind of old-fashioned ideas do you have? He didn't understand what I was saying, so I said, "Hey, I feel very sleepy. I'll talk to you later." He said, "You've stolen my sleep, and you want to sleep yourself? Tonight, I will love you all night. At least stay on the phone." I got nervous when I heard his words and hung up out of fear. He started calling again, but I had put my phone on silent. Even though sleep was far from my eyes, I couldn't understand how to deal with this situation. I thought I would talk to my mother. The next day, I told my mother, "Mother, it's like this, but I'm afraid of meeting Riewer. I can't understand what to say to refuse him." My mother was lost in thought and said, "Call him here." I told him, but he refused to meet me alone. Nowadays, times aren't good. If you both are seen by someone outside, you can start talking. My mother was absolutely right that it could be shameful for me if I meet boys. Anyone can see me. If I don't do anything, people will say that these two definitely did something. When I talked to my sister, she agreed to go with me. If she stays with me, I will have another chance to talk to people, and Rie won't harm me. I told Rie that I was ready to meet him under one condition. Rie wasn't happy at all that I was bringing my sister. He said, What are you talking about? Do one thing, bring all your relatives with you. He angrily said, I want to meet you alone without your sister. I won't be able to hold your hand or love you if she is there. This is the day of our love. Then marry me. You will probably always be angry with my words. I felt that there was something else in his heart for me. He wanted more from me before marriage, which I didn't want to give him. Girls from a well-off family don't have a physical relationship with their fiancé before marriage. What if I get pregnant? My father earned his respect through years of work. How can I betray him? I had also stopped calling Rie. It's good that he's angry. I just wanted to get rid of him, as you see. He kept calling. Whenever I went to the office, he would call, and I don't know how many hours he spent talking to me throughout the day. If he was so desperate, he should have married me soon. I also told him that we would spend some time getting to know each other and then get married afterward. Whatever was in his heart didn't matter to me after 2 days. He called and said, okay, so come with your sister. I actually wanted to meet you alone, but you're my friend. I don't know when you'll understand the state of my heart. I hung up. I went to the restaurant on Sunday to meet him, but that day, Rie crossed the line. He started telling my sister that I always longed to meet him alone, but I refused. Now there are only a few months left until the wedding. This is the time for love, or doesn't your poor sister understand? My sister just smiled at him, while my face turned bright red with rage. Rie started saying, Didi, I want to hold Rema's hand with the cup. I want to feel the love. I want to touch her cheeks. Her cheeks are so beautiful that even if I had to become a brother to touch them, I would go into the forest. But I don't know when the opportunity will come. When my sister heard such things from Rie, she blushed with embarrassment and said later, Rie will become very restless for you. Why do you even talk to him on the phone? What spirit is haunting his mind? I replied, I told him that he should marry me soon, but he insisted on meeting me first. My sister started saying, why don't you fulfill his wish, and began laughing. It seemed like I hadn't even reached home that night when Rie's video call came, and he started praising me, saying, today, you'll cause chaos. You've driven me even crazier. Now I can't live without you at all. I said, Rie, tell me the truth, what do you want from me? I want to hear it directly from you, why do you want to meet me? He said, Rie, you have to trust me. You refuse to meet me because you don't trust me. Do you think I will harm you? I said, what harm could you do to me? He said, I think you believe that I want to take advantage of you and force you to pay the price for meeting me alone. I asked, what do you mean by that? How could boys do that? He said, smile and give me a chance, and then I'll show you what kind of love I have. I said, Rie, whatever you say today, think carefully so you don't make a mistake and push me away. He also started smiling and said, I'm coming to your house. You should be ready, he said, smiling, and then hung up the phone. A whole week passed like that. Rie started making video calls with me, and he would smile at me. I tried to steer the conversation in the same direction, but maybe he started enjoying this game. I called on Friday evening and said, your lips look very beautiful, but I'm afraid of one thing. She said, if I come to kiss your lips, you won't bite me, will you? I said, I'm a cat that will bite you. He smiled and said, how will we know if you don't bite unless I try to kiss you? I said, try it in your dreams. She said, no, I want to kiss you in reality, even before marriage. Back then, I kept my phone, but on Saturday, Rie's call didn't come. I slept peacefully, and then I heard a noise in the room. When I opened my eyes, I was completely terrified. Rie was standing in my room. Before I could say or scream anything, he came close to me, put his hand over my mouth, and said, don't make any noise. I've had a hard time getting here. If you scream, you'll get into trouble. I know you're afraid of being in trouble. No one had seen him come in. I said, "What are you doing here, Rie? Get out of here immediately. I didn't call you. You shouldn't have come here secretly." When I saw him, my heart skipped a beat. My breathing became heavy, and my face turned pale with anxiety. How did he get into the room? He didn't listen to me. He held me tightly in his arms. I began to say, "Today, I will love you with all my heart." I said, "Look, Ryu, leave me alone. I don't want this." But he said, "I know that's what you've been wanting all week. I mean, you love me, darling. Today, I'm going to give you such love that, after this, you won't be able to live without me even for a moment." My friends also told me I should seal Rie's heart. In anger, I started pushing Reiwer away, but he was very strong and held me tightly in his arms. He put his lips on mine and began kissing me. I said, "Reiwer, please leave me. I am not your wife. I don't want such a relationship. I want everything, but you only want the world. I feared you weren't ready for this, but today I will take away that fear from you. Then, every night, you will call me and tell me that you are mine." I was just about to undress, and suddenly, my sister emerged from behind the closet. When Rie saw my sister, he said, "Didi, you're here. I knew you would do something like this. I wanted to test you, but you failed. You could have come into this room and talked lovingly to me, and then you could have comfortably left. I wouldn't have felt bad if you had held my hand as well. You tried to force a physical relationship with me against my will. Love and lust are two different things. You wanted everything from me. There's no risk of pregnancy for you. Do you think I would marry you even after this? And yes, take your ring back." It was as if Reiwer was completely shocked. He stood up and said, "Forgive me, don't break off this relationship. I love you very much." But my heart was hurt. I said, "I felt that you wanted a false relationship with me. That's why my sister and I made a plan to test you. I was convinced that you were not a good guy, and I threw him out of the house." Even Ryu's family pleaded, but my father didn't think that a boy with such bad character could be trusted after marriage either. I had moved on with my life. That incident was forgotten. Now tell me, friends, whether I did the right thing or the wrong thing. Let me know how you liked the story. If you liked it, then subscribe to the channel. Thank you.